Hey, it's Brock here with Rock Hill Farms, and on the trailer behind me is 19 small oak logs. Now, for the most part, I got these logs to take to the Okie Homesteading Expo here in a couple weeks. And if you're in Oklahoma, come see me. But outside of that, I need to get them off the trailer because I'm going to have to use my trailer in the next few weeks while I'm waiting on the show. And then I actually want to mill at least one or maybe two of these today, because these are much smaller logs than what I'm used to dealing with. And I did it that way on purpose so I can haul a lot of them and continuously be milling at the show without running out of logs. But also, I don't know what kind of yield I'm going to get out of these. So I want to do at least one for kind of a practice run so I know what I'm doing when I get there. It'll also be a good test to say, how much yield do you get out of small logs? So let's find out. The other part of this is it's going to be awkward unloading. I've got some lifting tongs that I can use. I might be able to grab some of them with the grapple. Heck, I might be able to do some of them with just the forks. So it'll be a little bit of, I just like to try different ways of doing something. Even if I think I know the best way, why not just try it 2 or 3 different ways and find out? Well, I fiddled around with this one a little bit and I was having a hard time getting it to roll onto the forks without something to push it up against. So I guess I'll get the tongs out for these two. I've got a small tong and a big one. I think the small one will probably do just fine for these logs and not be as heavy to mess with. I've only used these a couple times and I've found them to be pretty convenient if you have 2 people. If you only have one, it's a little bit of a hassle getting tension on this and then getting your chain looped in a way you can pick it up. Okay, this one's made to go on a 5/16 chain, and the chain I have is 3/8. 5/16 would easily be heavy enough chain for this, but I'm just going to use what I have, so I need to go get my other hook. Why would lifting tongs this big, giant lifting tongs, it opens up 3.5, 4 foot wide, why would it not accept a 3/8 chain? I know you don't have to have a 3/8 chain, but this will handle a big log. It seems like a poor design. Back to the drawing board. Got to find some chain, because that won't go in there. Now this might have been a blessing in disguise, because as long as this doesn't break, and it won't, I mean, these logs aren't that heavy. I got this lighter chain, and I found a little short piece of it that doesn't look like it's in too bad a shape. I put a bolt through it here because it didn't have any hooks on it. Now I don't have to worry about the hooks on this coming off. I don't have to wrap around a bunch of chain. I can just loop this right here over the forks and then hook straight into the small set of lifting tongs. See if I can do a better job of estimating the center of gravity on this when there's a dramatically difference between the small end and the big end. I think it's way down here. I was just checking to see if I scuffed up my trailer, you know, or gouged it with the forks. I got one little spot where I gouged it. So if you were doing this all the time, you'd probably damage your trailer over time with your forks. But for just this time, it's not gonna really hurt it. A lot of you are probably wondering where my dump trailer's at. And I sold my dump trailer. And I'm hoping to replace it as soon as possible because that dump trailer was one of the most important pieces of equipment I had. But you guys know I shut down my business last year. The fall and the spring was a little bit of a tight spot for me financially. Had to make a choice, just like with my stump grinder. And I'm still loving what I do, just had to make a tough choice there, and I'm hoping to replace it. So I'm gonna back this up and we'll get back to unloading. Well, I was not intending this to be the only thing I did today, but we got a notification that due to weather, my son's playoff baseball game, it's high school state baseball playoffs, has been rescheduled to try to get the games in before the storms. So I'm almost out of time. I've got to get the trailer disconnected, and then I've got a fairly long trip to make. I'll let you guys be the judge. Am I a smooth operator or an equipment abuser? Because I'd say my trailer took some abuse there. I'm kind of slamming those logs around. I probably bumped the rails a couple times. I might have gouged the deck, but as I look at it, I don't see much on there. So we'll save the milling for another day. But I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. Put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos. And I'll see you next time.